Hello everybody, welcome to a special 2-Minute Tips Tuesday. Today is all about youth work models, the model, the method, the approach in which we do our youth work with young people in a Christian setting. I'm going to give you 4 and a bit models of youth work, the most common models of youth work in the West, in the church since the 1950s. Here we go, starting with the funnel model. The funnel model is based in business marketing. The idea is you start off with crowd events. You try and reach as many people as you can, and you slowly, through invitation to smaller and more specific and deeper groups, invite them down to eventually become part of your core. So it's kind of like this big evangelistic event. Invite you to an alpha course. There you say yes to Jesus and join the discipleship group. You come to church and then you become a leader. Something like that. That is a funnel model. Number 2 is the hub model. The hub model is when you put most of your resources into one big project. And so it could be a youth worship service, it could be youth church, it could be a cafe, it could just be a big youth club. And everything else you do focuses around this hub. Everything is aimed to get you into the hub. Your small group work, your school work, your detached work, Sunday schools, everything is driven towards the hub, which is the destination, an expression of worship or fellowship or a mix of things. That is the hub model. Number 3 is the incarnational model. The idea of the incarnational model is as Jesus became flesh and walked among us, so we incarnate into the worlds of young people. This has 2 sides to it. Side number 1 is relational driven ministry. Everything is about building long-term, deep, small relationships with young people. The other side of the coin is contextualization, making sure that you're working with relevant, culturally accessible language. You are contextualizing yourself and your ministry into their world. It's very much a they set the terms kind of model. And finally-ish, 4th is the integrated model. This could be the intergenerational, the multi-generational, the family inclusive. It could be all kinds of different versions, but it means we are trying to integrate children's with youth, with students, with church. You're trying to do things joined up more as a larger church project base than just specific youth ministry. Those are the 4 major models. I think there are pros and cons of each one of them. I've written a lot about the incarnational model having some theological issues. For me, I like to do something that I call the facilitated model, which is kind of a 5th one, but really it's trying to take the best bits from these and mix them together. And you can read about that in my book Rebooted. I don't have a copy to wave at you, but I'm sure through the powers of digital video editing, it will appear in my hand here. Like that. The facilitated model is saying everything the youth pastor or the youth minister or the youth worker or the youth specialist is there to do is to facilitate movements, facilitate a movement of God's word and God's spirit with young people, facilitate movements of young people and children, facilitate movement of young people in church, facilitate people in church to move towards young people. It's about creating an empowerment-driven ministry where everyone is serving each other and the youth worker is there to make sure that happens. So there we go, funnel model, hub model, incarnational model, integrated model, and sneakily facilitation model. Was that 2 minutes? I have no idea. I'd say it was. See you again.